All right, welcome back, beautiful people. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to save both of them together. And people, it's payback time. We're going to walk through this entire thing in a live stream for your viewing pleasure. I'm, of course, going to be monitoring the chat, so once we get through the presentation, kind of intermittent points, I'm going to address the chat as well. But guys, John Cornyn, the guy who signed or pushed forward and made possible Biden's one great gun control achievement, the Safer Communities Act through the Senate, you know, the bipartisan one. Yeah, now he wants to be leader of the GOP in the Senate now that Trump came in. Yeah, this we cannot allow. If you guys are down with this message and you want to send this out, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and let it be known far and wide that if you infringe upon our gun rights in partnership with people like Chris Murphy and Joe Biden, we will not support you to go to your next career ambitions. All right, with that said, let's get into it. Do we have 5x5? Excellent, amazing. Oh, it is time to slap, people. Listen, we got the mandate, we got the power, we are rolling, and the Senate is one of those things we're rolling on. Now, as you can see here, Republicans have a final count of 53 to 47, final Senate makeup for 2025-2026, which is, of course, next year, underneath Trump's new administration. That's leading us to a point where Mitch McConnell retires and we get to vote for someone new. All right, so let me keep you up to speed here. This one right here, Trump's victory scrambles a three-way race for Senate Republican leader, and I'm just going to show you the people here. So on the left is the focus of our ire. That's John Cornyn, Republican senator from Texas. We'll get to him in a second. In the middle, John Thune from South Dakota, and on the right, Rick Scott. Rick Scott is also a bit of an issue when it comes to gun rights. But again, all these in their own time. This super secret vote is going to happen on Wednesday. So there's that. They are sparing no time in order to do this. But I want to hit this one individual piece because this guy right here, Cornyn aiming to win U.S. Senate Majority Leader race. How about no? No cake for you. And the reason why I'm so adamant about this, let me just lay it out and then I'll show you what's kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff. We got some leaked information on voting for it. This guy was solely responsible for the Senate Safer Communities Act, the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which was the only gun control that Biden was able to achieve that he won something and did something for gun violence in his term. They tried to manipulate it politically to get more and more votes. They used it during the campaign trail. The ATF came out and manipulated the overly broad and overly vague inserts and pieces of the law that John Cornyn wrote with Tom Tillis, also Republican, and Chris Murphy, freaking lefty gun controller, and Kirsten Sinema, who's right in the middle. But this is the guy who brought it to us, right here. Then, once the ATF and the DOJ and the executive branch started going out and saying how amazing the bill was that they just passed and gave them the law for Biden to sign, they started abusing it through executive bureaucracies. And then John Cornyn came out and said, well, I'm going to do a real mean Congressional Review Act, which the president has to sign and the Senate has to pass and the House has to pass, but we're going to get them. Yeah, you enabled it, and then you tried to make it seem like you were doing something about it. Sorry. 2 years of BS at the hands of the ATF because of you, John? Yeah, it's not going to work. But this right here, John Cornyn, this guy, don't forget this face. And we've got action plans here in a second because the next 2 or 3 days, we're going to just light this on fire. So we're going to get to him in a second. A lot more to come. But let me show you what Elon Musk said this morning. And then I'll get into your comments. I see you guys flying as you're coming in here. Who should be the Senate Majority Leader? Apparently, according to Elon's poll, everyone said Scott. Now, here's the thing with Scott. Again, we'll address that so you guys have all the information. Scott used to be in Florida at a local level, a state level. He's responsible for red flag laws. He's also responsible for raising the age of purchasing in the state of Florida. So he's not any beautiful piece of 2A freedom either. All right. John Thune, we'll get to him in a second as well. But let me show you the leaked vote counts that was just breaking as of about, I think it was 20 minutes ago. I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, 6 p.m., an hour ago, excuse me. So this is from Benny Johnson. Now, this is all from a GOP Senate source, right? So this is not my leak. I'm just referring to what he goes with. But this is where it stands according to that leak. Exclusive, a GOP Senate source has leaked the internal whip count for the leadership vote. The final votes will be on the secret ballot on Wednesday. So again, you guys need to take your action tomorrow when they're back in town, Tuesday when they're back in town, to make sure John Cornyn never gets in or sees the light of day of promotion. Here's where the race stands now. Cornyn, 18 votes. Scott, 11 votes, and Thune, 24 votes. Now, this is only in the Republican caucus, so the Democrats don't even have a say on it, and it's a secret ballot. But don't worry, Trump's getting in here a little bit. I'm going to show you in a second. This is going to be like Battle Royale in 2 days. It's going to be amazing. But we've now got some power, guys. So we're going to have to call our senators. Do not vote for John Cornyn. That's as simple as I could say it. That's what you have to do. When you call your senators over the next 2 days, I do not want you to vote for John Cornyn for the Senate Majority Leader. I am going to go hard in the paint on this one. Because this guy is no friend of the Second Amendment whatsoever, or our rights whatsoever. He goes with where the wind blows, okay? Anyway, that's where we're at right now. 18, 11, and 24. Thune in the lead with Cornyn in second place. I hope Cornyn loses all votes and all support. And as you can see, it's always linked in the description box. You can see who voted for whom, as according to this, GOP Senate source. But I can't really say that that's what happened there. So now let's get over here. This is where Trump's coming in. Again, this is where we wield our newfound power. Trump calls on GOP senators vying to be majority leader to agree to recess appointments. Now, we're going to touch on this probably tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. But what Trump wants is the ability to appoint people during the recess of Congress. So he's basically saying, whoever agrees to give me what I want, I'll throw my weight behind him. He's utilizing his mandate. That's what he's doing. We'll hit on that in a second. But the big thing that I want to hit on before I jump into the comments here, this guy right here, I want to reemphasize. 2A trader, RINO, establishment, no. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to do everything in my power to say no to this guy. Cornyn is aiming to win U.S. Senate Majority Leader race. He wants the power to lead all Republicans in the Senate. What that would mean is not only in Trump's term could he bring things to the floor and not bring things to the floor, like, I don't know, national reciprocity or NFA removals or suppressors or the Shush Act, all these different acts. But he could also, in a Democrat majority or a Democrat presidency down the road, he could also say, yeah, we're going to wiffle waffle on this just like he did in the Senate Safer Communities Act, that bipartisan one. No, absolute no, freaking no. But I'm going to jump into your comments really quick. If a bunch of you guys, I'm seeing Scott over here, give me 1 second while I read these. I'm for Rand Paul. That would be just too easy, wouldn't it? So interesting. Josh Hawley is actually voting for Cornyn. I didn't like that. A whole lot. I like Blackburn. I've been posting against rhinos and tagging the GOP and X. Amazing. Oh, yes. Thank you. You guys just reminded me. Here's something, because everything is aligning against this guy. Here's something from the NAGR, the National Association for Gun Rights. I'm going to read this really quickly, just a couple points here. Here's what they're saying. The race for Senate Majority Leader is on, and wouldn't you know it, Senator John Cornyn is here to ruin our day again. Cornyn has been tapped as the front runner for this behind-the-scenes closed-door campaign. Remember, he's the guy who single-handedly worked with Joe Biden to whip the votes necessary to pass the most egregious gun control package in 3 decades, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which expanded the Federal Gun Control Act and launched a new federal funding program for state gun confiscation initiatives. Yep, John Cornyn would be a disaster for the Second Amendment. Yep, and frankly, so would Red Flag Senator Rick Scott. Gonna be honest, they're not wrong. I don't like red flags at freaking all. And John Thune, well, he hasn't exactly been perfect on the Second Amendment either. You guys can see that. Okay, good. If any of these 3 senators who are running think they deserve to be promoted to Senate Majority Leader, they darn well better be willing to take a pledge of immediate action to undo Biden-era gun grabs. I like that a whole lot. There's the numbers right there. Senator Cornyn's, Senator Thune's, and Senator Scott's. At your discretion, if you take advantage of those numbers, make sure you are polite in doing so. Now, about your senator, your representatives, the ones who are supposed to represent your needs and your desires in Washington, call your senators. We're going to say this for the next 2 days. Do not vote for John Cornyn. John Cornyn is an establishment hack who goes against our gun rights every chance he gets. We don't like him at all. Nope, no thank you. Pick someone else. That's all you got to say, and then hang up the phone. They respond to phone pressure. They respond to email pressure. They do not like it. Make them squirm. It's kind of fun. All right, get out of here for that, because NAGR did put that out, and I really want to focus on what you guys are saying here. Inauguration day can't get soon enough. I'm just going to go through a few of these chats, and then we'll kind of recap at the end. John Cornyn is my Texas senator, and he's worthless. Good riddance. The only best win would be Scott. So a bunch of you guys in here are, so now hold on a second. Mitchell, it's not Tim Scott. Tim Scott is from South Carolina. This is, let me pull this other guy. This is Rick Scott, this guy on the right. So Rick Scott is a Florida senator. Tim Scott is a senator from South Carolina. That's not who we're talking about here, okay? Just so we 100% on the same page. We must not let the old guard take power. I completely agree with that sentiment. No way he should lead anything with responsibility. 100% agree. All three are rhinos, but I think there's one less, or there's a few lesser than the others. A bunch of people in here are saying, Scott, Ryan says going to email now. That's right, guys. Email. Let's go. We've got the energy right now. No John Cornyn at all. Under no circumstances. No. Holy crap. No. And we haven't even gotten to what Trump's going to do over the next 2 days, which I'm really excited to watch. Hey, you just read my comment. Awesome. Love your content and appreciate it, my guy. Hey, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys here. And John in over here. This vote is supposed to be on Wednesday. Yes, it is. No. So, wow, words. So here's the way that this is going to work. It's a secret ballot. So they're not going to be able to say who they voted for, or it's not going to be published, rather, on the public record, because it's an internal ballot of who's leading their party. So that's happening on Wednesday. We will know Wednesday who the Senate Majority Leader is, unless there's someone who does not get to 50%, in which case they have to drop the lowest and then go at it again. Very similar to the speakership saga that we watched in the House last year. That's where we're at right this second. Rick Scott is not a good choice. See, like, you guys are paying attention, and that's why I really like you guys, because you guys know what's up. Hold on, so I saw something really important. Someone just said, Britt. Hawley is my senator, and he better not vote for Cornyn or Thune, Rick Scott all the way. Then, hey, you know what? Call his office and tell him. That's the way you need to do this. All rhinos got to go. I completely agree. I don't like any of them. I'm just trying to catch up on your comments. Massey is in the house. Yep, Massey won again. Never John Cornyn. I agree. Just trying to catch up on anything that I missed. There you go. Okay, cool. So, guys, where we're sitting at right this second, I'm just going to leave this here, because a lot of you are just now getting in. You guys are looking at the three top runners and the contenders for the Senate majority position in the GOP. Now, think about this not only in Trump world, think of this post-Trump, right? These people typically stay in power for several years, several terms, right? So imagine Mitch McConnell, who was there like all the way for like 30 years until he started short-circuiting, straight up Biden style, right? This is who is going to replace him. All three of these guys were pretty close to McConnell the entire time. John Cornyn was, and Thune was particularly. Rick Scott was probably not as close, but you have to understand each one of these has pros and cons, but a lot of them are very establishment, very Washington, D.C. So that's kind of where we're at. You got John Cornyn on the left, safer Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, gun controller all day, every day. Get rid of him completely forever. In my personal opinion, he should be thrown out of Congress in the next election in Texas. I'm just saying. And then Thune, who's right there in the middle from South Dakota, who's a pretty safe bet on the standpoint of not getting kicked out. And then Rick Scott, who is in Florida, and Florida is like uber red now. And, I can speak for my people. We are pretty conservative now. So where we're at, right there. I just got a super chat. Has President Trump been warned about these traitors and what McConnell has done? Oh, he knows full well. In fact, only because you asked that question, which is a really great question, guys, as you're coming in here. I got some highlighted points here. This is what Trump is saying around this, and I'll do a dedicated video to this tomorrow. But here's the highlighted point. In a social media post on Sunday, Trump, that's today, who had said little about the race for Senate Majority Leader, said any Republican senator vying to be leader must agree to recess appointments to get his nominees confirmed in a timely manner. Any Republican senator seeking the coveted leadership position in the United States Senate must agree to recess appointments in the Senate, without which we will not be able to get the people confirmed in a timely manner. Sometimes the votes can take 2 years or more. This is what they did 4 years ago, and we cannot let it happen again. We need positions filled immediately, Trump posted on X. Now, to that point, and that's why I read this and had it highlighted, that was a very good content, good chat. I think he knows. He's acting like he knows what they're going to do. He's acting like he's getting in front of them. That would be a good indicator of that. But again, I want to know who's going to do it, and I'll kind of go into this more in the next few videos. But let me show you what the Republican nominees have potentially done. South Dakota leader John Thune, he said all options are on the table, and we must act quickly and decisively. So he's on board. So he's going to try to get Trump's endorsement. And then so far, Republican Rick Scott on Sunday quickly posted to X earning Trump's post, 100% agree, I'll do whatever it takes to get your nominations through as quickly as possible. So two of them are playing the game. John Cornyn has not yet. So that's kind of like a teaser of what I'm going to be covering tomorrow, most likely. But guys, where we're sitting right now, This guy wants it. We say hard no. These are the three guys that are front running. And more importantly, this guy on the left, it's payback time. Because for 2 years, we dealt with the ATF overreaches and egregious efforts against our Second Amendment because of that man right there, the Republican from Texas, Senator John Cornyn. NAGR is out against him. GOA is out against him. All the groups are out against him. This guy is no good at all. Point blank, period. And that's what I've got for you guys. So let me jump into the comments real quick, and then I'll kind of break this out. I'll make sure I get you guys. Rick Scott sounds like the most reasonable nominee. The only problem with Rick Scott from a gun perspective is he voted for red flag laws and raising the age of ownership in Florida. I mean, that is a legitimate concern. That actually did happen. Brandon Herrera for ATF director. I actually text him and just tell him that. You guys want that. Oh, man. Who's the best 2A choice? Of those three, I'll be honest with you, the most not in your face egregious is John Thune, but he's not good on it. Like, let me hear me out on that. I'm not saying he's the champion in this group of three, but if you look at these three pieces of crap sandwich, you go, okay, well, I'll take the least nutty one. The least nutty one would be John Thune, but still a crap sandwich. Not loving how the options have come up for our leadership here in the Senate GOP. They're poster boys for term limits. Completely agree. Trump has already said that. Rick Scott. A lot of people are in here for Rick Scott. Cornyn is one of my senators. The POS is pure RINO. Pure RINO indeed. Absolutely 100%. Looks like you guys are absolutely on it. Already contacted my senator, Josh Hawley, who sadly endorsed Cornyn. I told him this was a mistake. Good. More of you guys take action. More of you. Email, phone calls tomorrow. Your Senate office. You got 2 senators. Call them both. But the beautiful part about this is you don't have to worry if you have a Democrat senator because they're not voting for it. Call the Republicans. And it doesn't have to be just your state. Just saying. You got the phone numbers. You got time. It's easy. No. Okay, cool. So that's kind of where we're at on this, guys. We've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to work on it more, who's the best choice. But honestly, like I said, 3 crap sandwiches, which one has more peanuts in it? Anyway. But that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're watching this on the stream, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. And I will see you guys tomorrow when we start going to work to push this freedom. And thank you for watching this live with me.